What's up, everyone? Lord WiiU here, doing my second video for the day and probably my last one. Um, I meant to do the first video that you could see about why I think the Nintendo 3DS might more or less just be a placeholder system. But time will tell all that. Um, what the point of this video is, though, is the fact of I just saw that Capcom has announced Resident Evil Revelations 2, which, bravo, good job, really enjoyed Resident Evil Revelations. But they announced it for everything but the Wii U and the 3DS. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because this doesn't make any sense to me. Sure, it sold well on the PlayStation 3. I mean, the numbers that I have here in front of me show that Resident Evil Revelations on the PlayStation 3 sold more than 500,000 units. So it sold fairly well. But on the 360, it only sold about 200,000 units. But here's something to consider. I mean, it came out on the 3DS first. Sold very well on the Nintendo 3DS. And in fact, I think it's because it sold so well on the Nintendo 3DS that it got ported over to the PlayStation 3, the Wii U, and they came out with the high-definition version that eventually came out. So I think that you need to bring it to the 3DS at least. This is what I don't understand, and I'll post the link to this article in the description below so you can read it. But the Wii U version, it sold 100,000 units, and just because of the fact that so many people bought it for the Nintendo 3DS, they didn't see the need to pay another $50 to buy a game they already owed. Altogether, the 3DS version racked over or around 800,000 units. So, altogether, Nintendo fans, we purchased nearly 1 million copies of Resident Evil Revelations, and yet we are not getting this version of the game, which sold less on the PlayStation 3 and less on the Xbox 360. So, why are we getting ignored? This is, I think, I went into this before with other videos. If you can make it for the 360, which again was like what, 2001? Maybe, no, not that long ago. But still, it was close to 10 years ago that it came out. I don't know the exact year. But the fact is that if you can make it for the outdated technology of the Xbox 360, you can make it for the Wii U. That's all there is to it. I mean, it's not like you're toting it to where it's 60 frames per second, 1080p, so therefore it cannot run on the 3DS. If you're making it for the 360, you can at least make it for the Wii U. I've gone into this time and time again. I'm not going to go into that here. Even if you have to do a little bit of work on the game, Capcom, I really do think that it would benefit you to come out for the Wii U and the 3DS. Because you can't see it behind me, but I actually own a copy of Resident Evil Revelations. I just went back to it and revisited it just a few months ago, actually. Got online with it for a couple of missions and stuff like that. And I was the same way. I didn't feel like popping down $60 to buy it again for my Wii U, but if I didn't have it, I probably would have bought it for my Wii U. So when it sells more on Nintendo systems than what it does on third-party, well, not third-party, but other platforms, why is it not coming to the Wii U? Why is it not coming to the Nintendo 3DS? That just seems silly, especially considering the fact that two things happened. One, it sold the best on the 3DS because it was exclusive to the 3DS for about, what, a year or so? People bought 3DSs just to play Resident Evil Revelations. People were excited. There were people who bought Sickle Pad Pros just to be able to play it like on a console. So there's that. So more likely, a 3DS owner is going to want it. Second, the new 3DS has improved hardware. And with the fact that it already has that C-Stick, the ZL-ZR, it can play like it does with the Sickle Pad Pro on the regular 3DS. So with that improved hardware, if you make that an exclusive to the 3DS, or to this new 3DS, not only we hope Nintendo sell new 3DSs, but you'll make a lot of money because people will want to buy that. That's all I'm saying. Of course, I still hold true to the fact that I think that exclusives sell systems. I'm not going to go into that here. I'm just saying that, like I went into with the previous video, I don't see the point in getting 2/3 of the market. You know, hey, here it is on Xbox, here it is on a PlayStation, but not on a Nintendo console. Why would you want to restrict money? Even if you make only 1/3 of what you made on the other systems, you made a little bit of extra money. So I don't understand why you would restrict yourself and not make it for Nintendo. Unless, of course, what I stated before in a previous video about why Nintendo is a third party's worst nightmare, unless that's true. Unless you just want Nintendo to fail. Because otherwise it doesn't make any sense. This isn't like the Wii, where you have to work with a completely different architecture and build it from the ground up. This is a WiiU, which is slightly more powerful than a PlayStation 3. Maybe not much, but it is. It may not be as powerful as a PlayStation 4, but in my book, it's at least a little bit more powerful than an Xbox One, at least based upon the Xbox One's performance as of this last year. So if you can make it to the Xbox One, if you can make it for the 360, and you can make it for the PlayStation 3, and the PlayStation 3 and the 360 are less powerful than a Wii U, you can make it for the Wii U. I can understand you maybe not making it for the 3DS because you're not making it to the Vita either, which I also think is unfair. But maybe if you announce, well, it's too powerful for a portable. We want to make it for home consoles only. Okay, but again, there's really no reason for you not to bring it to the Wii U, at least in my book. But yeah, that's my rant for now, guys. Share your thoughts. What do you think about Capcom not bringing Resident Evil Revelations 2 to a Nintendo system? And even really to the Vita, because that's kind of unfair too. You would think that the Vita would be able to, but at least Sony has closed the book on that. They've said no more AAA titles are coming to the Vita, so whatever. But just because of the fact is the game got popular on the Nintendo 3DS. It was exclusive to the 3DS. That's where it got popular. That's what it should come to. And then if it sells well, do like you did with Resident Evil Revelations, port it to other systems. But even if you don't want to do that, I think that you should at least bring it to the Wii U, because it sold over 1 million copies. And I don't understand why, if you know you're going to make at least another 1 million copies on the Wii U and the 3DS, you wouldn't want to make it for that. Whatever. Anyways, that's my rant for now. Thanks for watching. Make sure you share your opinion. Have a good one.